Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report here on the Piper Academy Network. Pan, we're going to make a new thing. Pan, P-A-N, right? Piper Academy Network. We're going to make it a thing. Guys, we got some green in the market today, some big movers in here. Bitcoin overnight breaking some key levels of to the upside, guys. It just won't stop. Bitcoin is on fire. Let's go over, take a look at that chart there. We're going to be looking at that one here in a bit. This one here. We're going to talk all about this today. Oh, good Lord. Microstrategies, guys, is actually pumping even harder right now. Yeah, looking here at Bitcoin, though, guys, we did hit a level of about 98,367 on Coinbase, continuing upside and getting a nice little support bounce on our our fib up there, man, on 1.236. I love it. It's fantastic. So Bitcoin getting that big move, guys. We are going to be taking a look at, as the thumbnail said today, is it time to sell Microstrategies? Because Microstrategies has continued to just rally to the upside on a massive run, and we have to be honest, like it's very, very overbought. But would I sell Microstrategies? I might sell it, but there's a plan on how I would approach that and what my plan would be of moving into the stock side of Bitcoin mining, because there's a lot of talk in one of the communities I'm in about, look, Microstrategies has already had this run. I want to get into these mining stocks. They had some pretty decent pullbacks, so starting to rally again. Do they have a more upside potential? Guys, I want to break down how I would approach that exact situation. I have Microstrategies. I want to see if I could get into some of the Bitcoin mining stocks on the way up here also and catch their big move. I'm going to break all that down for you today on the Morning Market Report, guys. Let's get it. Class is in session. Good morning to everybody, and thank you for joining the Morning Market Report. This is the Piper Academy Network. We have 5 shows a day starting next week right here. You get the Good Morning Crypto. You get the Morning Market Report at the market open. You're going to get Trade Academy in the afternoon, teaching you the basics and the 101 of what do I need to do to learn to trade and make money in this crazy market. We have Crypto Nightcap in the evening, and then late night, Markets After Dark with Lunar Beach's Crypto. Guys, we've got a great lineup on this channel for you. If you're new here, please don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscription, and then hit the notification bell. Get notified when any of those 5 shows go live, guys. There's also going to be some more other content coming soon. Lunar Beaches and I are in discussion. So, guys, you're not going to want to miss it. Thank you, and welcome to the Piper Academy Network. But I'm not doing the show today by myself. It's not happening like that. I said, hell no, we're not doing it alone anymore. I need a friend. So my friend came in. What's up, OC guy? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm just laughing here out of usernames, comments. Man, this guy is just so hilarious.
Dude,
my friend, and I'm so freaking duty. I just told him.
Did you see his comment?
My lever.
Did you see his comment about I'm waiting for my financial advisors, Piper and OC? I love it. It's great. He said last night FD White couldn't get the show started and TradeFly had to go coach, so he panicked, sold everything. I know it's a joke, but it's hilarious. I love it. So let's give a quick shout out to everybody in the chat right now, because we got a lot of people coming in. There's 37 people in here right now, guys, and I appreciate you all just rolling on in here. There's a lot of competition in the morning show. You know that? And they choose to come here and get the info. So we did get some economic data. I'll break all that down in a moment here, but we got username in here. Average Crypto Joe. Crypto Trades is in the house with us. Quick scroll down through here. We got Alexandra G, best mod in the business, the mod queen in the house with us. She is just as much a member of the Piper Academy professors as anybody else that is here making content. And we love you, Alexandra. Trade Intuition, another professor. He's going to be the host of the Trade Academy. I love it. Indie Rock Crypto IRC is in the house. We got Harp in here with us. Crux of Crypto. What is up, my bro, dude? Another professor in the house, dropping all of that knowledge over there on the gems in our list for our Discord. Guys, check the link out below. I know, watch. Alexander G's getting ready to drop that link. She's on it, dude. Drop that. You guys get access to all of Crux's knowledge. That man has a plethora floating around in that dome of his. We got Bob in the house with us. Kyle Fields, BC Port Corp, the host of Good Morning Crypto in the morning here on the Piper Academy Network with us. Lunar Beaches Crypto. Mad. He's just mad. That's all I got to say. We got Buck with us in here, and Rusty, the Dusty Hunt. We've got Retro Mike Tech, the man who said, bro, Cass, you should get out of it. I did, Retro Mike, and I appreciate it. My financial advisor is Retro Mike. He told me to take my profit and run since I bought it so cheap, and I put it into Bitcoin. I'm very glad I did. So shout out to RMT in the house with us. We also got Donato Cabrera in here with us. Who else? Quick run down through. Falco, there's your hand. I got your hand, bro. I got you every day. OC guy, of course, you're right there on the screen with me. Who else? I'm looking. I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, it doesn't mean that I don't love you. Oh, Mike Play. Got to say shout out to Mike Play, man. Good morning, fam. It doesn't mean that I don't love you. It just means we got to get the show going. Melissa S. She holds my heart in this community. I love her. And Wick 589. Damn you fine. What's up, man? Welcome to the show, bro. And then Trent Brock, we're rounding it out. All right. OC, I'm going to jump into the economic data. Okay. I'm going to go over this data. We did get some job data this morning. We got to go over that. And then we also had some manufacturing data. One was good. One was not so good. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to come back and break down all of this news that you guys need to know on the charts. We're going to break it all down for you. So let's jump over there and I'll be right back with you, OC. Don't go nowhere. Stick around. All right, guys. Jumping over into the news today. Adjust that out there. Get that white line. There we go. Extreme greed, guys. I want to show you this, okay? This is on November 19th. We were at 90, extreme greed, right? We're now at 69 in greed. Make it make sense. Because we went from a 90 to a 69 in a period that we did a 90 to the 69 in a period of time that Bitcoin pumped like crazy. So make it make sense. I don't know. I don't get it. But hey, that's what we're at. We're at a 69. That's where we are. And I know that all of my dirty people in here are their brains are just going crazy right now. So I'll just let you guys do whatever you do. You guys do you, boo. Let's jump over here and go into market cap. Guys, we're at $3.3 trillion on the market cap, up 2.83%. Volume up 25.8% in the past 24 hours, giving us a nice hearty run to the upside there for volume. That means money is coming in. There is a lot of buying going on there. Let's look here at the crypto bubbles. Give that a refresh as everything spreads out. We got Arbitrum up 15.1. MOG is up 15.8. Optimism up 19.6. Any other big movers here? We got some that in the 10% range, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, that's it is. F&G leveled up. Fear and greed leveled up. It did. Is that what it is? We're not greedy enough. All right, so let's jump over here and take a look at the price, guys. Bitcoin currently right now at 96,853, getting a little bit of a pullback after that 98,000 hit. That's okay. We'll let it do its thing. It's only down 0.84% in the last hour, still up on the daily 2.4%. So we'll take it. Ethereum has made a nice little run up, guys. It's now time for some of these alts to get some moves, I think. Coming soon to a chart near you. $3,331 on Ethereum, up 6.7%. Solana's up 1.2, down 1.2. So it's up. It was up 2.4 in the last hour. It wiped out 50% of that, and it is now sitting at $243 per token. BNB's up a little bit less than 1%. XRP taking a nice cool off after a 54.7% run in a week, up sitting at $1.12, guys. So Dogecoin looking red here. It had a really hard rally, guys. It's at 38 cents. Let it cool off. It's fine. Cardano, guys, taking a nice pullback of 4.8% after a 42% run up for the week. It is sitting at 78 cents there for Cardano. For all of my ADA fans, Tron is up about 0.4%, a little under that level, sitting at 19.9 cents. Avalanche is at $35.21, up on the daily 0.68%. We'll call it 0.7, but down 1.4 here, erasing most of those gains on the daily in the past hour. Let's see here. What else do we have? We got Toncoin sitting at number 13. SUI down 4%, guys. 7.2% on the week. That's it. It's lost 4% on the daily. Lost another 2.9% on the hourly. Not looking too strong. SUI had an issue, guys, and I got an article on it. It had an outage. The Solana killer had an outage for 2 hours. Go figure. We'll talk about that today too. Chainlink up 0.5% here on the daily still, but losing 1.3% in the past hour. We are seeing a little bit of that market pullback, like I said. So, and then let's get to the top 20. Pepe is up 2.7%, cool off in the last hour. Polkadot at $5.83, down 3% on the daily, 1.3% on the hourly, losing a position on the market cap. Leo token up 4.8% on the daily, moving up another position and taking number 19 there. And then Stellar Lumens holding on to that 20th position after losing a spot, down 8.6% on the daily, down about 0.9% on the hourly, continuing its downside move. I think that's about it. Let's just go check Caspa. Oh, guys, look, Ethereum Classic. This is how you know Ethereum's getting ready to move, when you start to see Ethereum Classic do its pump thing like this, because Ethereum Classic, it's garbage. It really is. But in the world of proof of stake versus proof of work, it's still a proof of work token. It's the original Ethereum, if you will, from the hard fork. The whole debate there, conflict between a couple of people in the company, guys, and that's what happened. That's how Ethereum Classic came to be. But people go, oh, it's Ethereum, right? It's the classic Ethereum. It's cheap. I'm going to buy this, because they don't really understand the 10% move is still 10% gain, right? And no matter how much of it you own. But the big thing is that you might also have some people that are thinking Ethereum Classic is just the better asset because of proof of stake versus proof of work. Let me go up and talk about Near. That I missed Near. Evidently I did. I'm getting yelled at here. Where's Near? Where is Near? Oh, right there, Near Protocol. It's at number 21. I said top 20, bro. God, it's down 0.4%, up 9.2 on the weekly, sitting at $5.74. There's your Near. There's your Near right there. I got you, man. Let's go over to the economic calendar and talk about this. We do have some data that came in this morning at 6:30 a.m. my time. This is 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast, guys. Initial jobless claims. Yesterday, I said there wasn't anything really that I was watching on the side of data yesterday, but I said today we had, which is Thursday today. Tomorrow was what I said yesterday, which is now today. There you go. Welcome to the journey, which is the initial jobless claims. We had a revision on these jobs. It's now 219,000 jobs that they talked about. Wow, you just totally did that to me. Give me 1 second and I will get that back up there for us, because that did not want to work right. It just created a whole new screen and messed everything up. There we go. I got it. We're back. They did a revision on these job numbers. It was higher and was lower. I mean, and then these 220,000 to 224,000 jobs, people that filed unemployment this week was going to be coming in. And I was like, this is not looking good. It actually came in at 213,000 claims this week, which was way better than expected. Good news, right? The number of individuals filing for unemployment benefits in the U.S. fell by 6,000 from the previous week to 213,000 for the period ending November 16th. This is last week's data. The least since April. This is the least amount of unemployment filings since April, guys, and well below the market expectations of an increase of 220,000 filings last week. The result extended the view that the U.S. labor market remains historically strong despite the aggressive tightening cycle by the Federal Reserve in the last quarter. So this adds leeway for the central bank to slow the pace of monetary loosening should inflation remain stubbornly high. So this gives some tools in the toolkit for the Federal Reserve to handle inflation by getting these low numbers. So this is economically a very good thing to see for job numbers and for having the ammunition to fight inflation for the Federal Reserve. So the 4-week moving average, which reduces week-to-week volatility, fell by 3,750. In turn, this is where we start to get some numbers that are not good, okay? Let me get back. Let's go to the data, because we did get one piece of data that was not good out of these numbers, and I think I got to go to the 1-star for this. Yeah, I do. So it is the continuing jobless claims. This is the number of people that have not gotten off of unemployment. It was at 1.87 million. That's that 1872K. That is 1.87 million. it was expected to be 1.87 million again, 1.875, right? It actually came in at 1.9 million. So more people are sitting on unemployment right now. Of course, I do think that there is a large group of people that if they're on unemployment, they try to get a job during this time period, but they go, you know what? I'm making unemployment. It is the holidays. We got this coming up. I'm going to have Christmas, Thanksgiving. My wife wants to go to the in-laws and blah. I think a lot of people slow down on looking for jobs in this window. Just my opinion. Why not just, write it out, collect my unemployment check, make it through the holidays, and then we'll focus on a job. That is probably what we're seeing there. So, and then we also had some manufacturing data come in today. Philadelphia Fed manufacturing. This one came in bad. This is why I said we had some mixed data. One really good, one not so good. The Philadelphia Fed manufacturing index was at 10.3 previously. The consensus and forecast was that it would be down a little bit on the consensus at 8, up a little bit on the forecast. Totally missed the mark. Came in at negative 5.5 on the manufacturing index, which means that we've had a massive slowdown in manufacturing. The Philadelphia manufacturing index in the U.S. unexpectedly declined to minus 5.5 in November from 10.3 in October and well below the forecast of 8. It is the second negative reading since January and a sign that manufacturing activity in the region softened overall. The indexes for new orders and shipments declined but remained positive, so less than what it was, but not negative, okay? It didn't go the opposite direction. It just slowed down. The employment index turned positive, suggesting an increase in employment overall. That is labor market strength, okay? And then both price indexes indicate overall increases in price and remain near their long-run averages. So bad data, but it wasn't horrible. It could have been worse. How about that? Let's go over and take a look. Let me move that back where you go. There we go. Let's go over and take a look at what we're seeing on the stock markets right now, guys. CNBC Pro is telling us that right now the Dow Jones is in the positive 0.11%. The S&P, it's at 0.02. It's about neutral. The NASDAQ, 0.17, almost neutral. I would like to see this a 0 there instead of a 1, but they're not looking too bad. Russell 2K up over 0.5%, and the VIX is slowing down. Guys, these are going to turn green. That one just turned green. There you go. These are going to turn green. This market is going to flip to the upside here after this market opening, in my opinion. The red that we're seeing the pullback right now, probably going to be wiped out in the next hour to two, and we'll have upside movement. So keep an eye on all of that. And then let's talk about Bitcoin here, because we're going to go over and talk about that. A perfect storm is brewing for Bitcoin. Let's talk about what they're talking about here. Let's see what there is to see here. Is Bitcoin the world's most reflexive asset today? The United States Securities and Exchange Commission recently approved options for several Bitcoin exchange traded funds, ETFs. Once issued, these options lead to gamma squeezes, acting like reflexivity. Together, that reflexivity squared, leading to unprecedented price movements. The launch of spot Bitcoin ETFs was already a landmark event for the financial world. In the first month, BlackRock and Fidelity ETFs attracted unprecedented inflows, each accumulating $3 billion, setting a record for any ETF launch. That, however, was only the beginning. The true catalyst is the introduction of the options trading on these ETFs, which just happened in the past week. Which could significantly increase liquidity in the market. You guys remember me talking about that? That when you have that speculative money start to flow in, and half are right and half are wrong, right? You get a lot of liquidity. Liquidity is what market makers use to move the markets, and it takes a lot of liquidity to go to the upside. These options trading are going to, the options trading on the ETFs are going to give us the liquidity that we need. Sorry, I'm looking at the chart over here. Y'all are talking about snow and cold, and yeah, I'm in a desert, man. Bitcoin, the most reflexive asset in the world. Financial markets are deeply influenced by human behavior. You can see that in Fibs, right? George Soros famously coined the concept of reflexivity to describe the circular relationship between perception and reality in financial markets. Bitcoin is the exemplary example of what reflexivity assets look like. As its price rises, the asset garners increasing attention, which leads to further investment, driving prices even higher, aka FOMO. There you go. Prominent investors such as Jamie Dimon and Warren Buffett have criticized Bitcoin because of that reflexive nature, and they argue that it lacks intrinsic value because the price seems to move based on perception. But that is precisely the point. Bitcoin is the most reflexive asset because its supply is genuinely finite, more finite than precious metals or top performing equities, and the scarcity of Bitcoin is what makes it fundamentally valuable. So here, let's get into this gamma squeeze. We talk about short squeezes, we talk about long squeezes. Guys, let's talk about the gamma squeeze. Options trading on Bitcoin ETF adds a layer of Bitcoin's reflexive nature. Options give investors the right, but not the obligation, to buy or sell Bitcoin ETFs at a predetermined price. When investors expect Bitcoin's price to rise, they purchase call options on the ETFs. Calls, that means it's going up. Let's put the phone down, right? Down, up. The institutions that sell options are forced to hedge their exposure by buying Bitcoin or Bitcoin ETFs, increasing demand for the underlying asset. The hedging process can create a feedback loop known as a gamma squeeze. As Bitcoin's price rises, option sellers must buy more of the asset to hedge their position, increasing the cost. Like natural reflexivity, a gamma squeeze amplifies price movements. It's leveraging price movements, okay? So guys, we have a huge, let's jump back over here to DuoCam now. We have a very big thing of liquidity, a very large section of liquidity starting to push into the markets for Bitcoin. And so if we thought that we already had a growth, we've talked about 104 to 114 based on historic levels. I have a video coming out on that. That is going to be, yeah, gamma can wreck your trades. Absolutely. Crypto trades. Looking at, Bitcoin hitting those levels based on historic cycles. There's a video coming out that's going to explain all of that. But this could be where we get to those other levels that I've talked about. And I'll show those charts today. $167,000 Bitcoin easily based on historical structures. So we'll talk about that. We'll show that here in a bit. But guys, I just wanted to go over that article because when people go, how can it keep going higher than even what's expected? Well, there's where you get that that scenario is the liquidity coming in from options trading. But crypto trades is actually, he knows a little bit about options. He's going to be doing a segment in our Discord for the members here coming up soon, talking about options. He's going to give his little input on options. So he didn't know that. I told him before, but he doesn't know that it's happened sooner than later. So there you go, crypto trades. You've been told, bro. Any thoughts on Google? I think Google's a strong company. If you're looking at it for a long-term buy, sure. If you're looking at it for, a quick flip, I think there's better things to flip out there on YouTube. That's just my opinion. All this Piper financial advice, things feel right again. Damn nightcap making me pants. FDY to get it down. All right, guys. I do want to talk about the Bitcoin chart, and then we'll come back and talk about SUI before we get into alts. Look at that SUI price. Oh, see if you can get that SUI set up on your chart. We'll talk about that. So let's jump over to my chart here. Let's look at Bitcoin, talk about what's going on here. We are getting a small pullback here. I'm on our 2-hour chart right now. If we look at this on the hourly, listen, I don't know why I was on 2-hour. It's weird. We do have a level here. And you guys, let me isolate this off and show where my fibs are, because these are what we've been operating on for a long time. These are trend-based fibs, by the way, guys. They were pulled from the low of 2018 to the high of 2021 to the low of 2022. And you can see the golden pocket was absolutely crucial. 50%, the 50% fib there, getting a nice bounce. Had a couple of pull downs here below the golden pocket, but it's held well. That's telling me the sequencing here between the platinum pocket rejections perfectly there, and then the golden pocket rejections back and forth in that accumulation range. Very good sequencing means that these fibs are playing out on the right levels. They're placed in the right spots, right? And if we take a look at what happened here on the hourly, once we broke up to the 1.232, because we've already broke the 1-to-1 cycle here at 81,133, we are now repeating the 236, the 382, the 50. It's just going to keep doing that based on the logarithmic fibs that I put on here. But let's take a look at what's happened here on price action on this hourly, on this 1.232. 1.236. We did break above there. We hit a level there of about $97,900. It pulled back, got a support test here on this 1.236 before bouncing up to 98,397. Okay, we are pulling back to retest this, and we have had a little small wick here below this, but I want you guys to know that hitting these little highs up here and then pulling back on the hourly, completely normal. We didn't do anything like this where it pulled back and started this whole thing. We did something more like this here where it's starting to come back and then it's setting up for another high run, right? So right now, as it sits, looking at this level of 96,876 there, that little 1.236 level, I think is going to be a key level for us to watch there for support. And we are getting good bounces on this. If we do get a continuation move upside just off of this, guys, that puts us, that's a 1.382 here of the at 105,500, we'll call it. But let's go ahead and throw some indicators on here and let's see how Bitcoin's looking here. There's our oscillator. Let's go throw on our dynamic reactor, quantum reactor from the Market Oracle Pro Plus, guys. It's still green and we're getting lots of bounces here. If we do come down for hard pullback, guys, we're still looking at 92,500. That's your pullback, 92,500. When you talk about where we were looking at, pullbacks 2 weeks ago, guys, when we were getting rejection up here, we were talking at 73,000 that the pullback could be all the way down to $60,000. We're talking about a $92,500 pullback. I'll take that. We'll put this on the 4-hour, give a little top down perspective here and look at these levels here. We could see pullbacks, down to like 83K here. But right now, I'm watching one thing and one thing only. And that one thing that I'm watching is this, two things. Watching two things and two things only. The one thing I'm watching here is that on the 4-hour, we do have a liquidity block right here. That's coming in about $88,000 to $89,000 there. Could come back and grab some of that liquidity, but it's very bullish liquidity, meaning we will likely bounce on that. And then the other thing that I'm watching is bring in the 3D trend coming Black Friday, guys. That's when this will be out. If we just look at the 3D trend, it's continuing to show very strong strength upward movement. Until we come down and break that on the 1 hour, I'm not concerned because you can see every time we've come into the cloud, there, we touched the edge there, touched the edge there, touched it there, touched it there. And even recently, we had a wick that hit this right there. There it is. Came down and touched the edge of the cloud right there. Until this starts to get broken or we start to see this flatten out and we're coming back into it, there's no risk of downside movement too far, in my opinion, right now. Not financial advice, but it's what I'm seeing on the charts, guys. It's telling us a story, and we're just going to keep reading this book because it's pretty good right now. Looking at the oscillator on the 4-hour, we do see that we're continuing a green ribbon to the upside. Looking at the money flow, it is starting to get a little flat curve here on it, slowing down a lot there. And the trade volume is in the red, but it is on its way up there on the top side of that. So we do have volume coming in as money flow is starting to level out. If we go back here and look at what money flow does, though, it tends to do this sideways and then pump back up again, sideways, pump back up again. So I'm not too concerned about money flow right now either. It's not looking too bad. So I do think at some point soon we are going to have a consolidation period here on Bitcoin because it does need to calm down. But that's when we start looking at those altcoins and seeing how they are looking. One last thing I want to do, let's jump over, check out the heat map, and let's see how that's looking. And then we'll come back and see what OC's seeing here. Guys, looking at the heat map on the 24-hour, you can see there's a level right here at about $98,600 to $99,000. Guys, in that area right there is about another $120 million in liquidations. So this has been doing this. We've been making these levels. All right, we got a little level above us. There's a heat map there. It pumps up to it. We get another level. Oh, there's a heat map above us. We go to it. we've been calling this, and I did this yesterday. It's like, look, there's still a heat map. Well, we left some of it, guys. It went up there and still cleaned out most of it, but not all of it. And now we're building up again to the upside. I do think we could see an upside move to that 99,000 probably in the next 24 to 48 hours, just based on what this is. This is the 24-hour heat map. So, OC, let's jump over and see what you're seeing on your chart, and then let's do a quick run on that SUI that SUI article. We'll do an alt, and then I want to talk about MicroStrategy and Bitcoin mining stocks. So stick around for that. OC, what are you seeing on your Bitcoin chart, bro?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at first whatever before I disappeared, before I got kidnapped by aliens here from the submarine world. We were talking about the possibility here that everybody was talking about, like of possible formation, right? And what we went through is basically, I think we are in a symmetrical triangle at this point because I did not see those results, those characteristics on Bitcoin price. Right now, we can see the result right here. So that was a pretty nice one. In fact, look at that beautiful breakout retest. Not about the breakout, as you know, guys, it's about the retest, right? And off we go. So I'm telling you guys, my ojo de loca, my crazy eye never lies, right? So for my Latina community, you know what I mean. I told you it was not a wide formation. All right. Other than that, at this point, I think it's important to also look at the liquidations that Piper just went through. Let me also put it up here just to have a little bit more in-depth analysis on what I'm seeing. And we have basically free space. All right. So this is also pretty not just worrying, but also amazing. Why? Because it is also, there's no incentive to go hunt anybody up here. And then where is the incentive being built? Remember the next box that we draw, it is all the way down here. So remember, I just mentioned we can still pull out even though if we break out of this. Why? Because we are in all-time highs. I mean, are we going to be finally hitting the 100K from the last cycle? Well, hopefully we do, but everybody that was waiting for that 100K, I think they're gonna be footing out of the trade, right? So just be careful on Bitcoin. Longing maybe after a retest, not as we are keep going up or pumping. I would just go for this trend line, maybe the base of this. As we retrace, remember this line was there for a long time already. So finally, we are almost at the top here. Maybe we can wake up a little bit and then going for that retracement. So at this point, guys, it is time to be excited, but it's also time to start looking at what the possibilities for reversal could be. All right. Just like a Piper mentioned or showed the fear and greed, we are right now pushing into extreme greed, right? And that is the perfect storm conditions for the market makers to dump the price on you. So not only market makers, also retail that they were waiting for that 100K mark, right? So they might be saying in their head, not this time, Bitcoin, not this time, right? So just be patient, be careful, look for your signals. I'll be looking for a possible reentry as we do a zero line rejection. By the way, I still hold my long out of from this area here. So I'm still 25% in-ish. A little bit less because of commissions and taking profit and funding fees. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good so far. That's what I see on here. Before I try it back to you, Piper, let me just bring up something that is not relevant, but I think it is kind of like a funny and not, right? Quant's kid got stolen and kidnappers demand apology and launched new meme coin. I do not condone, especially messing with a little dog. Man, what does that little dog has to do with this, right? Come on. But the important thing here, what I want to pull out here, it is the coin that they are promoting, body coin, right? Just maybe keep a look at this because just maybe out of retaliation from the rough pull up that the Quant kid made out of Quant, right? This coin could be going parabolic. I'm just letting you know the whole contest. So yeah, so if you're planning to jump into this coin, you know a little dog is being held hostage there, right? So I think there are other ways to do that. I still think that if he gives back the dog, and then I mean I'll be in for the body coin there. But as long as that dog is being hostage, I don't know, man. That's just not fair for him, for the little dog.
For the dogs, for the puppies.
Yes.
Usernames thought you were about to bring up puppies trading crypto. Because he wants that show here on the show. He wants us to have a Saturday show of puppies trading crypto. So let's go ahead and
That'd be
talk about
amazing.
SUI. You got that chart up. I know you do. And let's go ahead and talk about its outage. It had a 2-hour outage overnight, which is seen as a pretty harsh setback. And even Retro Mike Tech is in here talking about it's garbage. So let's go take a look at this article and see what it says. South Korean crypto exchange Upbit had temporarily disabled SUI deposits and withdrawals amid the network outage. Okay. So it was a network outage also, but then that exchange also did some actions on top of it. SUI, a decentralized layer 1 blockchain designed for rapid smart contract deployment, experienced a significant outage on November 21st, halting block production for more than an hour. The SUI blockchain went down with no blocks being produced for more than an hour, according to data from the SUI Network Explorer SUI Vision. According to the data, the last block occurred at 9:15 a.m. UTC with no new blocks produced afterwards. Multiple industry observers reacted to the downtime, with many outlining SUI's ambitions to be one of the biggest competitors to Solana, which is the 4th largest cryptocurrency by market cap. SUI blockchain is down, and they claimed it to be a Solana killer. Evidently, in order to be a Solana killer, you got to be down as much as Solana. So there you go. This first one is a more to come. We'll see. Exchanges disabled deposits and withdrawals, which we already talked about that during that downtime. And they also, some of them also reacted to the issue on the blockchain. South Korean exchange. Yep, that's the one we already talked about. The SUI Foundation took to X and announced the outage about 2 hours following the block production halt, stating that the network is experiencing those outages 2 hours later. Yep, good job, guys. Way to be on the ball. The DOS bug behind the outage, according to the cryptocurrency security firms, the outage on SUI blockchain was likely due to a DOS bug on its system. After our analysis, it was found that SUI network node occurred due to an integer overflow. So OC, let's jump over to your chart and let's see how the market is reacted to this price wise.
Absolutely. I think, I mean, something that always amazed me, it is that a dear YouTuber always say, show me the chart and I'll tell you the news, right? I think that have been proven over and over. Guys, of course, do not overlook fundamentals, right? That's why I also see that SUI is not, or SUI, or whatever the coin is. I just don't really like it. I think it did have a retraction in here, but just like it went back down, it also went back up, right? I mean, we have a flip of the ribbon, we have the reversals playing out here, we have a big absorption zone, and something very, very important, it is, come on, look at this, the disparity right here, a fight between retail to see where the price is going, right? We fell back down to another price of retail playing out, just so you guys remember or see it. Here is a little no volume area, right? This is well, this ends up being a fair value gap because the price, when it recuperates, just start pushing up so far very hard, right? The importance in here, I would say that we could be forming a head and shoulders here based on the areas that we are, and maybe just make a little space or time for the dynamic reactor to come in slowly here. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't see it that clear so far, but this is what I'm aiming for. I'm not going to be jumping into SUI. Nonetheless, if we start drawing some trend lines like this, we also have a possible neckline and also a re-entry area if you're planning to re-enter for the bounce of it, for a downward continuation. If we flip back down, though, that will be a shorting scenario. I mean, if I see the possibilities, I will short SUI, but I would not buy it. I don't know. But that is just a personal decision, right? You do you guys. Other than that, I mean, despite everything, it's still looking pretty strong. Looking pretty strong, and unless we lose a dynamic reactor, I wouldn't say that we're looking otherwise, right? But a head and shoulders pattern, it's just not. It's not pointing in the right direction at this point. So other than that, I turn it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, Fading TradFi said SUI finally getting some of the soul issues that happen when you have most of the traffic in the market and so much of the traffic on Sol and SUI. Even then, SUI is still not close to the amount of traffic on Sol. That's true. And then Retro Mike Tech said, so did the denial of service, the DOS, attack every single node or the SUI? It doesn't really say in there, man. I'm not sure on that question. Retro Mike, you would know how to find that info out way better than me. That is your realm over there, is the tech side of it. That's why you are Retro Mike Tech. So I don't know, bro. All I know is that they had an outage and then price reacted to it. They seem to be rallying back on it as we speak, though. So to the upside. So yeah,
Although
Fading TradFi said
talking,
it's going to create a buy-in opportunity. So there you go. What's up?
yeah. Although talking about a little bit of experience, not that I have done anything like that, but I've seen that happen in real life. Just making that clear. I think that it was a single node attack, and that is because you can concentrate all your power to attack one single node. That is going to be easier to cripple down than spread it all across the network. That way, I mean, you're attacking much more computational power instead of concentrating one
That
single
makes
node.
sense.
So if I had to guess, I will be attacking a single node.
And Retro Mike Tech, I think he agrees with you on that because he says, so the answer is that it's centralized because by attacking one node, they were able to bring down the entire network. Yep. That makes total sense, RMT, total sense.
Or it's or it's a very weak decentralized coin.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go ahead and jump into the big question that we had today, guys. So I follow a group. I'm in a private group on X called Bitcoin Mining Stock Guy, and there's a lot of people over there that we're talking about is it time to move out of MicroStrategy over into the mining stocks because the Bitcoin miners, they had a good run up until March, and then most of them pulled back. We're going to do a little bit of side-by-side analysis here, and we're just going to talk about what we are seeing on MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin price action and versus the Bitcoin mining price action on stock side. So still crypto related, but we're going to talk about some stocks here. Let's jump over to this chart. OC's in there with me. He's on the Bitcoin side. I'm on the MicroStrategy side. So here we go. Guys, looking at the left side there above OC, that is the Bitcoin chart from its bottom. Looking at monthly candles here, that is the bottom back in like November 2022, okay? We have its price action to its upside, giving us a move of about 535.5% in that ballpark to its current wick high that it just set. Looking at MicroStrategies here on the other side, though, from that same period, you can see the crosshairs are pretty much lined up right there on both of them. Same bottom time period there. This one being pulled from December for MicroStrategies to its top that it just set here yesterday. Guys, actually this morning, this thing is up 3,996%. So is MicroStrategy very, very, very overbought? I would say yes. It is. Do I think that it's going to continue to go to the upside? I have a strong feeling that it will. So, how would I approach getting out of some MicroStrategy stock and getting into some of the Bitcoin miners? Because first, we're going to go ahead and compare those. Let's make the chart over there by OC, our MicroStrategy setup. So let's do that. There you go. You're now MicroStrategy over there, OC. And on my side of the chart over here, let's go ahead and throw on CleanSpark. We'll just start with this. Pretty much the same period here of time, right, that we're looking at on these two charts. From its bottom to its top, it's been, actually, this needs to come down just slightly. I see a wick there. There we go. This is up 1,324% on CleanSpark to its high that it set in March, okay? In comparison, again, to almost 4,000% on MicroStrategy. You got to keep that in mind. We did have a really hard pullback here on CleanSpark from its March high. That was when I started going, okay, we're breaking some levels here. By April, May, I was getting out of CleanSpark and my Marathon Digital. I kept MicroStrategies. I moved all of that money out of CleanSpark and Marathon over to MicroStrategies and continued that run up. So during this whole dip period here, well, most of this dip period here of about 87%, or 67%, my bad. I was actually sitting in here accumulating for this next move. So now it might be time to look back at getting in here. But I will point out one thing. On this month already, we had this top here that came in at about $17.97 on CleanSpark. From that down to where it's at right now, it's still this month pulled back another 25% versus looking at MicroStrategy's pullback this month. It is only a pullback there of about 10.4%. So we're still seeing pullbacks in the mining side, and that's something that you have to keep in mind, right? Do these have the potential to really take off? They do. Are they going to take off better than MicroStrategy, or is MicroStrategy going to start getting sold off because it's overbought? It's possible. So there's a plan on how to handle that, and I'm going to break all that down once I get through this data. But let's continue on here. Let's take a look at Riot. Riot is up 392% from its bottom to top in that same period. Marathon Digital up 458% here. And again, March pullback, starting to see some strength. It's actually looking stronger right now. And that's because it's not just focusing on so much Bitcoin mining. Marathon Digital kind of spreading out there with some other things. We are seeing more strength on Marathon right now than what we are on Riot. You can see that big pullback on the monthly candle there. CleanSpark, again, big monthly pullback there. So Marathon is looking pretty strong. Iron, this is Iris Energy Limited, looking extremely weak here, guys. Yeah, it did do a nice pump up there, and it's up 1,395%. But look at this monthly pullback right now, guys. At the monthly pullback there, almost 30%. While everything else is, like I said, 10.4% on MicroStrategies, and on Marathon, it's only been a pullback of about 8%, 8.5%. So looking at Wolf here, Wolf is up 1,590%, but it's got a big doji candle over here on its monthly. It's almost erased everything that it's made there for the month. The only one that's done decent, in my opinion, guys, this cycle has been Cypher. And Cypher did do a pullback in March all the way to its downside there of about 66%. And it does have a decent pullback here happening on this monthly candle of about a 20%. But it's looking overall strong. It's up almost 2,000% in comparison to MicroStrategy 4,000%, but it's still 50% of the growth rate that MicroStrategies has done. And then lastly, HUT, it's up 630%. It's looking decently strong. Nice accumulation, good candle there. I would say if I was going to move into anything, I would look at HUT and Marathon. And how would I approach that? Well, let's jump over and let's look at this next to it. Guys, this is MicroStrategy X, and you can see here this morning, look at this rally up here that we did just this morning. That was from yesterday. I just moved it up. Look, there it was yesterday. There it is today. Okay. It doesn't have the history here going back like MicroStrategy does, but it's up 1,312%. Okay. Let's go talk about how I would approach this, because 1,312%, you're like, what, Piper? MicroStrategies is up 4,000%. MSTX is only up that much. Guys, this has only been going here since August. It's November. So it's done 1,300%. If we look at what, here, just jump back over there. If we look at where this started in August, let's look at the bottom here on MicroStrategy and go to the top. That is 430% of its move on MicroStrategy has happened since August. 430 versus 1,300%. So much bigger moves on MSTX than on MicroStrategy. So how would I approach taking some profit out of MicroStrategy, because it's done so well, and start to get maneuvered into the two mining stocks that I was talking about, which is HUT and Marathon? Not financial advice. This is how I would do it. I would be taking like 10% profit out of MicroStrategy on good green days. Oh, good green day. Let's take 10% out. I'm going to put 5%, 50% of that. So 5% of my profit that I took out, 50% of my profit, 5% of my total money. Take that, put that into the mining stocks. 2.5% in HUT, 2.5% in Marathon Digital. Take the other 50% of that profit you took out, which is 5% of your portfolio. into MicroStrategy X. Why? Because it is a 2x leverage move on MicroStrategy. If you think that MicroStrategy is going to continue to go up, which I do, and I'll show you why in a second, then you would have that 2x times the money you put in, which is 100% of what you just took out. So if I took out $100 in profit from MicroStrategy and I put $50 in to MicroStrategy X, times 2 is $100. I'm keeping the same exposure to MicroStrategy, but I'm also getting the other half of the profit that I took out into the miners for their move. And if I was going to get out of MicroStrategy and just start layering out my profits, that's how I would approach that. That is not financial advice for you. Please do your own research. But guys, there is a play there that you can make that you're still keeping the same exposure for MicroStrategy and getting into those mining moves. But overall, I think that MicroStrategy is going to continue to go up. Big reason why, this right here. Let's go take a look at this. Oh, see, I saw you talking to MJ, so if you need to run talk to her, I'll go to a single screen. This is the reason why I think that we're going to have this continuation, guys. And it's literally based on the model that we have seen here from Michael Saylor on how he approaches increasing the value of MicroStrategy by leveraging the Bitcoin that they buy to make more money for the company so that they can buy more Bitcoin. You guys remember that commercial back in the 80s, or have you seen it? I'm sure if you looked at memes and stuff. There used to be a commercial about drugs, the drug, the Just Say No movement back in the day. And it said, I do cocaine so that I can work more hours, so that I can make more money, so I can buy more cocaine, so I can work more hours, so I can make more money. It was a cycle, right? Guys, this is what we're seeing going on with MicroStrategies and how it is taking Bitcoin to leverage and move it around through MSTR convertibles and through MSTX, even through options calls, spot Bitcoin ETFs. They're moving all this money to make more money so that they can put it back into Bitcoin to do it. And they're just compounding the growth. This model, I think if this model was picked up by like Marathon Digital or one of these mining companies, we would see an absolutely parabolic run on these. But I don't want to lose exposure to the brilliance of this model by going into the mining. So that's how I would approach it, guys. If I am going to take out my profits, I'm going to do it in portions, and I'm going to keep half of my profit over into MSTX to keep MicroStrategy exposure while I'm picking up some of that move that could still come to Bitcoin mining. That's my game plan, not yours. You guys, please do your own research. But some people were asking, especially Melissa. So there you go, Melissa. I hope that helps you out. Shout out to the Tex-Mex, Biomex, Tony in the house, dropping at $1.99 super chat there. What did he say? Let's get that back up here. Come here, you. It says RMT equals Santoshi and is a swell guy. RMT to Mars. I love it, man. Retro Mike Tech is the man. This is the first cycle. Billy, you have no proof. What did he talk about? CAS is the only coin you need. That's why Retro Mike Tech owned years before all of us, just like he owned Bitcoin years before all of us. He is Satoshi. Don't let him fool you. And then he said, you have no proof. I love it. Fantastic. That's what we got there. That's my plan on the mining stocks versus MicroStrategy. But I know that you had some insight or some thought on this also, OC. What was your take on all of this?
So at the very beginning of the show, Piper was telling me about his plan of jumping in, and the very first thing that he mentioned, he factored in something very important, which is leverage. Let me explain this. When you usually invest on crypto mining, on mining stocks, it is because you are doing a proxy investment. What does that mean? Usually you go because they're mining Bitcoin and other important coins, but mainly Bitcoin, right? So you are trying to invest in Bitcoin by not buying Bitcoin, but buying something that it is a little bit more volatile. So it is like using leverage, right? Because a company will also grow depending on their shares and also how they manipulate their inside jobs and inside and outside offerings, right? Having said that, if Bitcoin moves a tiny bit, as Piper has already shown, maybe that reflected on the crypto mining stocks, like moving twice or three times that same amount. That same thing goes when going downwards, right? So by doing a proxy investment, you are going for something like a leverage investment, but without the leverage dangers, which is liquidation price, right? So you can go 1x on stocks while you also get from Bitcoin more than 1x movements. But now that things are starting to shift, and as we already know, they can go as high as they can go as low. Well, then not losing exposure, taking your gains, and then adding that lesser of exposure, or multiplying the lesser of exposure with a 2x leverage, well, then 2x leverage liquidation price still very, very far down. So I think that is a great move there. So you are deallocating real money, right? Taking profits and still have the same exposure if the price keeps moving forward and to the right. So I think that is an amazing strategy. Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah, I wish that more of our community, like Melissa wasn't part of our community back in January, and that's when I actually did the video. I posted a video back then that said, I'm selling my Bitcoin, and I sold 50% of my Bitcoin and put it into MicroStrategy's Clean Spark and Marathon. From that time to now, it's outperformed Bitcoin hugely. Speaking on that topic, guys, we do have a poll. I'm getting ready to end it, but I said, what Bitcoin exposure stocks do you hold? 25% said mining stocks, 21% said MicroStrategies and MicroStrategies X, which is the 2x leverage long MicroStrategy. 4% said ETFs. 51% said hell no, buy Bitcoin. Guys, I want you to understand, the reason that I did that with my Bitcoin when I sold one whole Bitcoin and bought these stocks is because historically they have outperformed Bitcoin in the bull run greatly. It was an amazing call. It was spot on. I've definitely crushed my gains of the Bitcoin that I sold using it in exposure to proxies, like OC said, versus what my one Bitcoin has done. But the whole idea is to take all of these profits, much higher profits, to buy more Bitcoin. So
Let me
I am Michael Sailoring the hell out of this thing. Let's go.
absolutely. Let me jump in here with a little reflection. I mean, I'm not sorry that you mentioned. I just wish that people of that community were here before. But you know what? I'm a religious guy. You know that, right? So you don't need to be religious. But I think God's timings are perfect, right? So Melissa, if you are here now, let me just remind you something, guys, and also to our new members and new community. If you can share my screen here and also throw me a boom shakalaka for Piper.
Boom shakalaka!
There we go. Boom shakalaka. Another great call here by Piper. We're talking about this was what is it? 3 days ago, right? He was talking about
Ethereum.
Breakout.
Yep.
Remember exactly. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. And let's take a look at what happened. Boom shakalaka, right? So guys, I think it's a great place to be here, especially if you take the knowledge, if you do add your own analysis. And then, I mean, remember that together we make a better community, we make better calls here, and we all keep learning, right? For example, right here, we were talking about ADA because you guys requested ADA, right? And you were also pointing out that there was a trend in here. What I just did, just show my little piece of my grain of salt in here. Oh, that's not ADA. And then look at that beautiful result as we were expecting it. So guys, the more we are, the more we share, the more we work together, I think the greater and better the community we're going to be becoming. So don't worry if you are new and you're missing out a couple of old or past calls. There is always something new. The markets are not running away like your ex, but they're staying here around. And as long as they're moving, right, you can make a profit, regardless if it's to the upside or to the downside. Other than that, turn it back to you, Piper.
I want to jump over here and talk about this chart, guys. This is what I'm watching right now. We are getting a little bit of a sell-off and pullback on the markets. Jump over here. Let's check out CNBC, NASDAQ, continue more downside. We're getting some decent sell-off. I'm not sure exactly what is going on. But Novogratz just warned that the Bitcoin correction, says crypto is leveraged to the gills. That's part of that gamma squeeze that we were talking about a little while ago, happening from the options now. It is very highly leveraged. So we are seeing some pullback. If we see pullback, the areas that I'm watching is right here. This is the range coming in right there. We can see previous support areas here, resistance and then support. It is a high side, $95,000, low side, $93,600. That would put us back into the range of the 3D trend cloud that we're watching here. Also in line with this other areas back here of support and resistance. Let's go ahead and drop a fixed range volume profile in here from this last bottom, and you'll see value area high coming in right at the top of that. Worst case scenario, guys, is 91,800. And like I said earlier, guys, we're talking about a 91,800. Might as well just round it up, 92 grand for Bitcoin for a retracement. I'm not afraid of that. BC Port Corp said 96.1. That would be yeah, there's a node there. There's a little bit of a volume node there, but I think the big volume node comes in right here at $95,000. So that's the area that I'm watching for our support range right now. Russia is what Crypto Billy is saying. I guess they retaliated with another rocket attack again. Guys, we talked about this. I said warfare sell-offs. There was a thumbnail. I said, I think we're going to bounce from this quickly because I think I even wrote it in the description. People forget. They forget. As soon as something else comes out, they're squirrel, ADHD, that everything with Russia does not exist. These are opportunities. Take advantage of them, guys, and take advantage of the algorithm by smashing the like button here on the show, guys. We appreciate it. It helps us out, but we have got to go. It is time to head over to the Randy Hipper frat house and go see her. But guys, ETH down 2.07% in the last 30 minutes. We are getting a little bit of a pullback right now. So what's dominance doing? Hold on. I got a question about dominance. Bitcoin dominance, 60. We're getting another bounce on that. Here you go. Nope, right there. We are getting another bounce. Look at the bounce, guys. Dominance dumps down, right, on the hourly. Catches the quantum reactor, bottom of the cloud, now coming back up. Guys, I'm telling you, this combination, this is where I get the data every day to give to you. It's absolutely killing it. So, OC, you got anything for the people on the way out, my man? Before we go raid Randy Hipper and drop our graduation caps on her floor and say, we're here to party, where's my attendees?
Absolutely, guys. When it's time to party, let's party. When it's time to be careful, let's be careful. When it's time to prepare, let's prepare. Let's not get caught with our pants down, and we cannot run away out of the situation because you're going to drop and fail. So click that like button so all of your questions will be solved if you just click that like button. And of course, access to the classes, because we're going to be here to help you as much as we can. Other than that, Thank you so much, Piper, for hosting me here, and always a pleasure to be around.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, bro. Guys, thanks for joining us today here on Piper Academy, the morning market report, guys. This afternoon, I don't think I'm going to have the afternoon class next week, though. The afternoon Trade Academy will be 5 days a week with Trade Intuitions. Make sure you guys all tune into that. I will be in the Discord today for our TA 101 with our upper class members. If you guys want to join, go down below, check out the link. I'm sure Alexander G is getting ready to drop it again because she's that freaking amazing. And we will be back here tomorrow morning. Tune in tonight for Crypto Nightcap with FDY and myself, maybe? No, I'm just joking. I wouldn't take your show from you, TradeFly. Go check out that, and then check out Mad Markets After Dark with Lunar Beaches Crypto tomorrow morning. It all starts over with Good Morning Crypto pre-market, and then right back here, 9:30 a.m. on the Morning Market Report. Till then, guys, trade safe, and as always, use a stop loss. Let's go raid Randy Hipper show. Drop those graduation capsules. Show them some alumni love, guys. We'll catch you later. Peace.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going. cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you were part of that num nada source bond. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. Sound off.
To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.